that every morning when you wake up, the first thing you have to do is
eat something.
No, is take
Drink
some warm water.
Warm water.
So I do warm
Should
water
be warm
now.
water.
That is what I've been doing ever since this year started. And it's actually
You're getting
helping
results?
me.
Share, please share
So the
with us.
one of the results is that I feel.
No, what were you feeling before taking the water, and now what's there?
No, well, in the morning I've actually been having challenges with, let's say, having some ulcers in there, and you know sometimes ulcers mean you're supposed to eat in time. So I realized I need to change my eating, let's say, timetable to understand when am I supposed to be having this and when am I supposed to be having this. But for the warm water, it's more of health matters. In most cases, it helps at least wash out some of these fats that you normally take in
during the night, so it cleans you as you start your day.
Very true.
But now, how about the part here, your dental, that brings out a smile, that brings out the words you talk every day, that is making you smile right now? You can share with us. How do you take care of it when you wake up after stretching? What is the first thing you do? You know, there are some people who use a lot of, we're not going to talk about the ingredients they use to brush, but someone, I used to say a friend, he first put salt, chaka chaka chaka, he brushed.
Yeah, most people do so. Because
you know why?
People normally do, it's, I hear, it is to help whiten, but not only whitening, but it makes the teeth stronger.
The teeth gum stronger. And that and more is going to be coming up shortly, but we're going to see really why does someone, or how to run a dentistry will be coming up, and you getting to be knowing on why also someone needs to invest into dentistry. Let's first take a look at this. We do return to discuss more. Make sure you be part of our conversation. Share with us what you think, what is your daily routine, and also listen to this, take an ear. You can always contact around the comment section, tell us how you feel, maybe if you've got any problem, because we already have an expert to answer that for you.
With dentistry, you notice we have three people we are dealing with. We have the dentist, and then we have a middleman who is the business person, and then we have the person who is consuming the service, who is the patient. So our patients usually are our customers. So if we have a dentist who has the information and the service, so there is need for an investor to make sure the service is provided for other people. So how is the dental business, how can someone invest into a dental business? First, please find a dentistry near you, or find a dentist near you. Pick interest in your own oral health by finding out what are the problems you've seen around you when it comes to oral, especially around people you work with. If it comes to bad breath, it comes to whitening, straightening, pain, and all that. If you look at all the things, they happen to us every day on a 24-hour time. Like, you will have someone at least either with a bad breath around you, or you'll have someone who has had a toothache, or you'll have someone who has had gum diseases around you, meaning it's a very lucrative business. So we are looking at in a way that if the dentist is very informed, has the information, and the facilities are put there, the facilities can be organized with the dentist and the businessman. The businessman can open up an account, can open up a company, a limited company. The limited company can buy shares in a dental clinic. So if the more shares, the more money you invest in a dental clinic, the better the services. And as a shareholder of the dental clinic, it is very important to always keep investing into the dentists themselves, not to feel like, because dentistry, it's a sacrifice, it's a sacrificial business, whereby if the head dentist is not informed, the dentistry will stay stagnant, the business will stay stagnant. But if you keep informing the dentists, especially when it comes to caring for the patient, because the best thing, that the way the business can be sustainable is patient care. If the patients are giving good results, if the patients are referring the clinic, and if the patients themselves are happy with the service, so it can be long. So the first thing before any investor invests in a dental clinic, look at your dentists. Look at the relationship you have. Is this sustainable, whereby you can have that relationship for more than a year, because you're dealing with people once a year. You need to be dealing with people like for 40 years. So you're looking at a business plan of 40 years. You're looking at a business partner of a lifetime sometimes. So when you have to be very flexible, not to be so tough, because the business world is a bit tough. But when you're dealing with a medical worker, you have to be very flexible. And then you'll have a successful business. The moment the dentists themselves are not aware of what is happening, the current things that are happening in dentistry, your dentistry will start falling. Because people will find better services somewhere else with the dentist who is improving themselves every day. So for any investor, please, if you have the money, invest in a dental clinic for your own health, for the health of your children and grandchildren, because that is a sustainable business that you have to keep for years. If an investor is also investing in a dental clinic, don't only invest in a clinic. There are other areas that we can invest in dentistry. There is the products that we use in dentistry. We have the brushes, we have toothpaste, we have TP brushes. All these things are very important. We have also, you can invest in what we call a dental spa. For people with spas already, people with saloons, you could have an area and put a dentist, which is a dental spa. The dental spa, you could employ a dental hygienist. Here we call them dental assistants in Uganda. They'll be doing dental cleaning for people every day. So if you have the money and you can put a dental spa on the side, you could even do whitening. I have so many contracts from whitening companies in the UK, but I've not yet gotten investors to invest in that, so we can bring those products here.
There you have it about dentistry and also what you need to know on how, if you want to be investing around there. One thing I liked in there is that this is a huge space, according to Julie, that cannot be, exhausted, because it has got a lot of opportunities. You can choose to, do maybe the feeding, because it has a lot. It has nutrition, what we put in the mouth. You can do the treatment part of it, or you can do the teaching part of it, sensitization, or you can do an expertise part of it. So it's a huge and wide, range of sector that one should really, in case you have money, invest into. But also one thing I was coming to that I liked is that I'm buying her idea on behalf of other people. I do not know about you, that if government gives scholarships abroad to different students, science students, if it would specifically look out for dentists, those who want dentistry, for example, you go pursue your course, get it right, come back here. Let you implement what you have studied from wherever you've studied from, whether London or the US, and then come transmit or transfer those skills, that treatment to these people here, and that in turn will collect back investors to come into, because they know money wagamba take a centers wall up. So they know we're putting money here because these people are experts for that. So to me, I liked that too.
Well, and she also talks about the fact that very few Ugandans do take this as a very serious, let's say, health sector. In terms of people normally go for checkups, medical checkups, simple checkups, but they rarely go for dental checkup. I don't even remember. I think it was when I was still young when I went for a dental checkup. That was when I was
healthy.
That is when I think I had a challenge with
you can imagine what I just said, that you're healthy. Julie said it's not a guarantee that you're even healthy
if you've not gone
on
for
your
a checkup.
oral cavity. Because something might be ongoing wrongly, or something wrong might be going, and then you're there very comfortable, like, you know what, I'm healthy, I don't have any pains. But in
Africa, it is in Africa here where people actually feel it's healthy when you're not sick at all. So that is why it is rare to find Africans. I think it is a very bad perception about life that we have, that you only have to go to hospital when you feel you're unwell. So I think we need to change that as Africans.
But also we're going to be looking what more it has to do with profitability. Every person, when you have invested, you know, you got to realize that at some point you will need a profit, or you will need something to come out after that. So maybe before you take us to that profitability around there, have you ever dreamt, I do not know, they call it dreaming in the in the local lay language around here, direct translation, like when you want something, when you're visioning out something, when you're setting up goals, most cases they call you dreaming. Have you ever dreamt one point that the business I'm going to start with, okay, let me just not even give you a suggestion, what profit are you looking out on your start of your business? Like what profit, what profit for your first business should it be?
Well,
what should be?
In terms of the business passion, I believe I would want to have a business that can at least get me a 15,000 on a daily.
A 15?
Or minimally a 15.
That is for your start? 15 million?
15,000 for the start. Why? Because when you look at that on a day,
okay.
if a business can, if it's a startup that can make you that money, and that is 15,000 in terms of the profit, and you're starting up, you would look at it and say it is a way to go for you. Or you will see some people will actually yearn to make a business, to have a business that can make them 5,000 a day or 20,000 a day. No, in most cases when you look at the startups, no, I'm now speaking of what I want to visualize. I was visualizing in the situation for a startup.
And what is that business that at least you can get a 15 profit?
There are quite a number. Quite a number of businesses.
Are you still talking about the chapati store?
No, not that. But there are quite a number of businesses. But then you're going to look at that. If you're making it 15,000 as your first, you would realize that will be limiting yourself. Then in the long run, you will feel, if at all I can make 1 million on a day, because there are people who are doing that. The people who are making profits of about 5 million on a daily. So for him, 1 million may be too little. So it becomes a situation whereby you look at your business that it's earning you more money. So everyone looks at business differently. There are people who are scared of a certain business, and there are people who are making money out of a certain business. So we may be doing the same kind of business, but when there is someone who is making more money out of it, because he knows the dynamic, so he has more skills of doing it than you have.
I see you're implementing the business tips you always share with us here. Always start small, because the bigger part of it is on your way coming. So take us through what to.
And one would still say business, like any other, is supposed to be profitable. The reason as to why people venture into various businesses to see that they make money out of it. And then with the issue regarding dental health care business, one will still ask, is this a lucrative business? Can you make that money out of dentistry, or is it just to do with health? Because sometimes people think health has no money. But surprisingly, when you look at the past few years, this has become one of the most expensive sectors, the health sector. Doctors are very expensive. Just normally when you're going for a checkup at the hospital and you're asking for, is it inquiry?
Inquiry is just 50,000.
50,000, just inquiry, and the doctor may even give you just 2 minutes.
Consultation.
The consultation. You go for consultation and someone gives you only 2 minutes of consultation. Maybe you go and ask, doctor, I have this challenge. Oh, that may be this sickness. And then he's done pocketing the 50,000. So, well, it is one of those most expensive sectors out there. I don't know. But when you look at that, let's look at the dentistry part of it. How lucrative is this kind of business?
Money it can make, by the way. I could tell that because business people like knowing how it can make.
Yes, how it can make.
Yeah, because that's business. Well, I'm sure many business investors would want to know, can I make money? Because businesses has to be profitable. And dentistry as a business itself, it is a healthcare provision, but it's also a profitable business. Because dentistry on an average in Uganda, if you're in areas that are in like Kampala, you could make a month an average of 4 million every month by having someone who knows how to clean people's teeth, because you just need someone who knows what to do. So you could make 4 million in Kampala. On a bad day, you could make like 2 million. After you've paid all the expenses, you've paid the doctors, you've paid yourself, everything, that is a good a good investment. And if you really, that's one clinic. If you have like 4 clinics, have more, the more units you have, the more of that money will multiply. Even areas like villages, I have been doing research and I've gone to areas. Yes, I was in Mbale and I was trying to find out from private owners of dentistry, and the people who are getting the least money from me, which they're investing little because the things are not quality there, you will find that they are making over 1 million a month. So if you could put more, meaning you can make more. If you could teach more, you can make more, because people will be more informed and they'll come to you. If you could more radio, more online, dentistry is lucrative.
Indeed, like she mentioned, just 2 million, if you're looking at taking interest into dental health, you can set up something for yourself. But again, it should never always be a matter of, just setting up something. You need an expertise entry in that. If you're going to make sure this is what you want, that means at least get a short course in it. Have more knowledge, have wider knowledge, have more broader aspect of it, so that you do not give us a katwa at the end of the day.
She said 2 million.
Yeah, with 2 million you can start something.
Wow.
Something that is away from with 2 million. That you have to put away the renting area. That means the space is not countable. We are looking at the entire what you will need. Maybe an equipment you could get at 500 maybe, or if one person like that. Other charges really are not. But roughly, if you want to be calculative of all that, 5 million would do good. It depends on the area you are in.
Well, now I've realized in most cases you can start a business with this slightest, or we'd say smallest amount of money you have, but it depends on how you're going to manage it accordingly.
Do you know even 1,000 you can start a business? Did you know that 1,000 Ugandan shillings you can start a business?
With the
How?
rate, yes, I would want to know now.
Do you know you can get sweets of 500? You go buy sweets downtown. Walo sweets they bateka wansi. Even they can give you two sweets at to 100. You buy 2 sweets zezabitano. You might find you have like maybe 10, and then you walk. Don't calculate now the labor you're putting in, because labor is yourself. So you walk. Do you know that at some point, Sonko, you're somewhere and you just want a sweet to grab it, but there is no shop nearby? So when you walk with that, at a probability of 70, you're likely to encounter customers. Did you know that? And that sweet you bought, 2 sweets you got at 100, you're going to sell one at 100. That's 200,000 at 200 shillings. Magobagofna in in 100.
Well, it is, but for some of us who want to shoot higher, I would want to have a business that is going to entitle me to have a lot of money.
At
for
the
starters.
start. At the start. And that
Which is
profit, you
which
told
is
us
most
about
demanding.
15,000.
No, not that. So if you look at the 15,000, you would want to have a business that is going to give you
no,
like...
where to Caesar? You have changed your perspective now, knowing that God gives you what you ask for. By the way, I'm a believer, Soko. So, they say that those who believe are mouth created, Lord. So what you say is going to come your way. Always aim higher. Yes, you can start small, we agree, but always work for better each day. Never feel comfortable, never feel contented. Sometimes they say feel contented with what you have, but that goes into spouse or intimacy. But with business, never feel contented, my dear, because demand is always there for new supplies and new markets.
Well, and also when you look at the desire to have a bigger business, like you said, we normally have to pray for what we want, and we receive exactly what we want. But in most cases, it's better also to shoot for the sky. Okay. Very important, because we all want to shoot for higher ways. There's a preacher once who actually revealed that in most cases, God will not provide the slightest things. It's because we lack the idea when we are praying. There are times when we pray for things that we can do instead of praying for things that we can't do. Like you might say, like when I said 15,000, God will look and say, but you can make that business yourself, not me. You come to me and seek for 1 million. So those are some of the
That's
preachings that I
funny.
received.
But in business community, for business people, if you want to do business, always number one, believe in hard work. Because hard work, what you put your hands on will surely reap. You can pray, you could pray for your hard work to reap, but do not rely always on, uncertainties. Holy Spirit is going to come. No, can you always wake up knowing what you're going to do? Do not always waking up waiting on to. There are people who are wait on, and those who, drive it. So always drive your economy, drive your money. Sometimes here, Sonko, I will borrow your word again. You always tell us we have to make money. What you always share something in that aspect. Like we need to work. We need to make money.
Make money and put it in circulation.
Yes, and I always say each time the new dawn comes, always make sure that, hey, what am I going to do to make sure I am part of the money-making group? I'm part of the money-making, in circulation. Because at the end of the day, no one is going to cater and give you a call like, hey, do you need some money? That one happens maybe between a man and a woman, if it's a responsibility home-based. But just a call, raising that, hey, can I send you money just from nowhere? I mean, it's very rare. So that means everyone has got to take care of their businesses. And that's when we will have sustainable development living for our families. And that's when we will also change our country from the people living now with living on a daily basis below $1 shillings, $1 like enkumi satu waliwo abantu abatafuna n'enkumi n'olukumi olunaku.
And with that SMB insight, you can easily see that in dentistry there is also money. It's lucrative if you know how to run that kind of business, but you also need to have information. Because you cannot start up a pharmacy if at all you've not been through medical school or something, because you're going to actually give people wrong information. That is why when UNBS is actually tracking down most of the situations, when it's tracking down people who own pharmacies, they want to look at what are the documents. What are the documents that you have that prove that you're supposed to be selling these drugs or this particular medication? Are you having the rightful documents? Have you been through the rightful schools? Because you are not going to just wake up in the morning to start selling Panadol because you believe people get sick on a daily and you can make money out of Panadol. So you need to know how to administer these drugs, and you also need to understand how best can you help people, because businesses are supposed to be solutions to problems, but only solutions to problems when you know you are the rightful solution. Not just finding a solution because they ought to be a solution. So with dentistry, it needs one to actually have some mind or to have some ideas regarding being a dentist, I would say, regarding dentistry. So
And
with that, you
also,
can run this dentistry
making
business.
sure that you pass on opportunities to other people. I mean, if I come to you and you're able to remove the unbroken teeth or remove that disturbance that I have in my oral cavity or my oral part, that means that next time I'm going to refer you to, you're going to be a referee to some people that I would want you to work on. But also, your venture is going to meanwhile grow bigger, and here is when you're going to have to employ some other people to help you on. You're not just adding it to your plate or your living, but now you look at how you're passing it to the other person. So basically that is all we have to we had on our SMB Insight. Before we take a break, Sonko, you mentioned earlier about UNBS. I'm cooking something for UNBS.
Well, UNBS is continuously carrying on a number of operations. So for all the businesses
recent
out
one
there,
of the iron bars and steel.
and when you look at the operation with the fact that we are talking about the health here in our SMB Insight, it is very important for the people to know that if at all you don't have the rightful documents and you don't have certificates that prove that you are licensed to operate a health, let's say, business in terms of the pharmacy or a hospital clinic, then it will be shut down, it will be closed, because they, according to UNBS, then you're putting people's lives at risk.
Okay, we take a break. Coming up is a topical discussion.